Hey, what's up flappers? Welcome to another video brought to you by Erotic Walrus. So today we're going to be talking about some of the topics that have been on the uprise in the community. Not just Zhongli buffs, Zhongli nerfs, and Zhongli stuff, this, that. There's some serious issues going on in the community, especially with people's account getting compromised. And also there are certain topics that, let's just say, Zhongli may be getting some changes, and I'll go over all these details in the video. Of course, I'm going to leave all the links that I use in the description, so if you guys want to dig deeper into all this stuff, you guys can. So with that said, remember to like and subscribe. We're currently on our way to 10,000 subscribers, and of course, as always, I say this, less than 5% of the people who watch my videos are even subscribed. So if you enjoy the content and you enjoy what I bring, I urge you to subscribe because it's free. I do daily uploads and I cover a wide variety of topics. And with that, let's just get straight into the potential Zhongli fixes. So as you all can see here on my screen, this is Reddit and this is the post. I'm going to leave this link, and there's many more people talking about it. The reason I think bigger content creators haven't picked up on this is mostly because that it's not an official release. It's mostly just people talking about them sending in support tickets and getting certain responses. So what the problem seems to be is that when you use Zhongli's pillar and how it pulsates and reacts, the energy that it generates is random. And what people mean it by random is when you create an elemental reaction, the reaction that generates energy is there's ways that it can generate. For example, if you have Venti, you use your E. There's let's say a 90% chance that it will generate 3 energy particles, and there's a 10% chance it'll generate 2 energy particles. What's happening with Zhongli's is it seems like whenever his thing pulsates, and this is why people say it feels like it's random, instead of 1 or 2 particles, let's say, or a fixed 1 particle, it's currently being 0 particles or 1 particle. So what ends up happening is you can have it pulse 3-4 times and end up rolling the 0 particle generated, and then you get nothing. You just get boned, right? You get completely screwed. Big Dong Zhong is completely limp. And so what this post is telling us is that after sending in a support ticket, Mihoyo has responded that they are aware of the issue and the team is working on fixing it. So what that essentially means is for everybody who's talking about like, oh, I wish his pillar, his E, the way it pulses, could generate more consistent energy. That is being worked on. That is something that Mihoyo has addressed. So not to get anybody's hopes up, do I think Zhongli is going to get a buff? I really don't think so. I don't think Mihoyo is the type of company. They're already looking farther into the future. Zhongli's release has been dealt with. It's done. It's over. They've made enough money. It sucks to say this, but I think going forward, they are not going to be making more changes to Zhongli other than these kind of fixes for him. And of course, the original poster is down here. This is the exact wording. If you guys can see, rest assured that this is already known and that our team is working to have this fixed. So for people who are talking about the energy generation problem, that is going to be fixed. Now, moving on to the next topic, let's take a look at the rampant hacking issue. So I've got people talking to me in my Discord. By the way, if you want to join my Discord, links in the description below. We talk about all this stuff. So if you have questions, people will answer there. They're amazing people. All right, so the hacking issue, it's gotten a little bit out of hand, and I'm sure a lot of people are really worried and really concerned of how to keep yourself safe, because nobody is safe. There's people who spend thousands of dollars on this game, accounts are just gone. There's people who have spent no money on the game, accounts are gone, right? There's people who gotten their accounts back on, nice and okay, and there's people who got their accounts back and all their items are gone. You really don't know what this. So the best way to have this problem not happen to you is to take the proper protocols. What I personally suggest is if you have your email linked to your account, immediately right now, just pause the video, stop watching this video, go set up two-step authentication. I know for Gmail, they have two-step authentication. I know for other email service like Hotmail, whatever, like there should be ways to set up two-step authentication. You need to protect your email, because what is happening right now is they are able to find out what your email that you have linked to your account is through, let's say, this forum. There are Reddit posts talking about this, so I'm not going to show you here how it's done, because I just don't think that would be a great idea. But they can extract your email through this, and essentially it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's Mihoyo. What's happening is the way they've set up this website, apparently there's an open source or something, and if you go on Google and do a 5-minute search, you can find out how to access people's email. It has something to do with logging into your account, and then they just enter forgot password, right? They somehow get your ID or whatever, they try to log into your account, and bam, they use forgot password, and through that they can open up another source, something like, it's like hack, but it's not really hack, it's just literally looking into the browser, and then they find your email through that. And then once they have your email, there must be some other way they get access to that email, and without you knowing it, they'll just instantly send a forgot password, get access to it, and then just switch emails, and then you're boned, you're done. From that point on, you're over, right? So set up two-step authentication, just make sure your email is safe. And of course, there's other people talking about that. A lot of people did end up getting hacked because they've been on third-party groups and stuff, let's say Facebook groups that are, you know, third-party, they're not official, and people are just spamming links in there. It's like, oh, I got this through this and this through that, and people are clicking on these really sus links. Okay, guys, just don't be stupid. Don't be clicking on, like, if it's too good to be true, it's not true. Do not get baited into this. Go to authorized places. If you really want a community, there are plenty of Discord groups, there's plenty of content creators. We're building these communities for you guys. You don't need to be going to extremely suspicious third-party organized group where you don't know who owns the group page. You don't know how to get in contact. Like, I try to answer all my comments. I am here, I am always available. So if you guys really do want a community, you know, a nice community to talk and exchange information, I'm more than happy to have you in my Discord. I'm sure there's other content creators who are more than happy to have you in their Discord. But please stop clicking on suspicious links anywhere. Okay, so that is the issue regarding the hack. So let's move on to the third and final segment of this video, and that would be, if Zhongli were to get buffed, what I personally think is the way to go with this. Although I did mention previously, I don't think Mihoyo is gonna buff him. I just honestly don't. The damage has been done, the changes has been done before his release, and this is really where Mihoyo is gonna leave him. It doesn't matter how hard we scream as a community, it doesn't matter, because whales are always gonna wail, and free-to-play would have never spent money for him either way, right? They just would have saved up for him. So it really doesn't hurt Mihoyo's income in this regard, so they're not gonna, like, why would they spend the manpower? To what, please us? Like, what? What are they, some charity organization, right? That's not gonna happen. So it sucks to say this. Most likely it won't happen, but if it did, let's just talk a little bit about where I think his kit lacks the most, right? So notepad here. So I've already listed out the 3 things I feel like could really take what he is currently doing and just take it to the next level, right? So the first thing is his pillar, the amount of pulse damage it deals, and the range. So for anybody who does not get Zhongli to Constellation 1, you're only able to have 1 pillar out at a time, unless you're running double Geo with Ningguang's Jade Screen or the MC's balls, rock stone balls. So with that comes the problem that if you're just running Zhongli by himself, he seems a little underwhelming, right? Especially if he is Constellation 0. So increasing the pulse damage a little bit, like just retuning it a little bit and increase the range. It makes Zhongli C0, it just doesn't make his E feel so underwhelming and so useless. And as mentioned, the energy regeneration part is being fixed. So guys, we do not need to get fixated on that. the team knows they're fixing it, right? We're just, but regardless of the energy generation, the pulse damage and the range, we need this to cover a bigger part of the battlefield, even if it's just by himself. Feels like you're always half hard, you know what I mean? You're like half hard, and you guys know what I mean, right? It's not a pleasant experience. It feels underwhelming, to say the least, right? Next one, number 2. I feel like his burst skill should increase all damage taken for petrified duration. Now, why do I think this is necessary? Currently, although his burst does scale off of HP and it deals, a decent amount of damage, it does, like, because everybody's saying he works best as a support. As a support, you want to bring more to the table than just crowd control, right? There's also people who have mentioned that because it's such a long animation, it's a great iframe tool as well. Yeah, it has that too. But being a support, being an Archon support unit, he should be able to benefit all sorts of teams, right? Slotting him into more teams allow him to bring out the best in everyone else, because that seems to be what he's doing right now, right? He himself is not that great, but he can allow others to shine much brighter. Let's say you have a well-built DPS, Klee, Diluc, whatever, anybody, Razor. Right now, what Zhongli does is turn this unit into essentially a raid boss through protecting it with shields and also giving geo reactions. It turns this character into a giant raid boss, and then you have this awkward burst skill that kind of just comes in for damage and CCs a little bit. Although great, although it's very useful, I feel like to take his supporting capabilities to the next level, there's no reason why to not give him this. I don't think he will be broken. Will he be better than Venti with this? I don't think so, right? They can always tune around the damage bonus to make it an alternative to Venti as opposed to a superior version. And finally, I just feel like holding E should do extra damage to petrified units. Because it affects Geo, it just should. And would this be like a make or break thing for Zhongli? Absolutely not. I think the third, they could not have this, and just with the first 2 changes, Zhongli will become a much more manageable, much more loved and respected character to fit even more roles than he currently does fit, right? And this doesn't make him, as you can see, I do not think that his normal attacks needs to be buffed. It is what it is. Zhongli has been slotted into this role. He's been given this fate, and I think if you watch my previous video, I have talked about the fact that he fits well into this role. I don't think he needs to be forced into a physical damage DPS role. He doesn't need it. So people, I really think we should be putting this to rest. These are the changes, if there should be, I think are needed for him. Even these changes, I feel like Zhongli would still fill a specific niche without any of these changes, which I think that's the direction we're gonna go towards. For those people who are really upset, I completely understand you. I'm incredibly disappointed, but we have to separate our disappointment from the evaluation of Zhongli as a character, right? He fills a very, very, very specific niche, and he is great for mitigating damage, rectify mistakes, or just completely make mistakes irrelevant. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are allowed to play more casual. He caters to casual players who, let's say, I'm sure most of you have not even attempted Abyss 12, but once you do, you will see that, especially if you're playing on mobile phones, it's not a pleasant experience. You're going to be struggling, and for a lot of people, you will not be able to clear Abyss 12 unless you are outscaling it. And even then, you're going to be struggling because, that place is a nightmare. What ends up happening is you don't really have much stamina to work with, and everything hits you for a truckload of damage. You get hit a couple times where you get chained, CC'd, and you die. You just fail. I think Zhongli fits into a niche. Right now, the problem is to make him work, you need to already have someone else that, can beat the content. It's just you are either taking too much damage, or you are not iframing, or you're not maximizing on your mobility, right? So Zhongli takes that out of the picture and makes it viable. Right now, I would say Zhongli is A tier. He's not B tier, guys. It's like, stop saying he's B tier. He's A tier. This will take him to S tier. Just not even the third one, just the first 2 would take him to S tier. And does he need to be S tier? I don't know. Does every 5-star need to be S tier? I don't know, guys. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I do hope that you liked and subscribed, because over the next few days I'm still building up XINYAN. I'm going to do C0, C2 comparisons for DPS. I want to do more Zhongli tests, and those are all going to be up on my channel. I release videos daily. I'm always here. I have a Discord channel if you want to join and talk to me and ask me more specific questions. I do respond there. Yeah, thank you all for the support recently, and stay safe. Peace. See you in the next one.